आवाज से परे मधुर साज से भरे अंदाज में बुलाए बाबा पुकार के बच्चे आओ। आवाज से परे मधुर साज से भरे अंदाज में बुलाए बाबा पुकार के बच्चे आओ। सितारों से दूर सितारों का जहां रहता परम सितारा बेहद सुकून वहां। सितारों से दूर सितारों का जहां रहता परम सितारा बेहद सुकून वहां। बच्चे आओ, बच्चे नूर समंदर दिखता सुंदर लहराए निरंतर आनंदित अंतर। मौजों की मौज लेने का है समा वो प्रेम डोर से खींचे वहाँ। जी भर निहार के लिए पंख प्यार के हम उड़ चले। आवाज से परे मधुर साज से भरे अंदाज में बुलाए बाबा पुकार के बच्चे आओ। राहें देखे बाबा बाहें खोले दिल से सुन ले मृदुल स्वर में वो बोले। राहें देखे बाबा बाहें खोले दिल से सुन ले मृदुल स्वर में वो बोले। कुर्बान करके आओ पुराना जान सुन प्यार से पुकार
गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। भाग्य के द्वारे खुले हमको हमारे मिले, भाग्य के द्वारे खुले हमको हमारे मिले। आई जीवन में ये बहार तुमसे ओ बाबा, जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। माता पिता सद्गुरु सखा तुम ही तो एक हमारे हो, शिक्षक तुम ही रक्षक तुम ही दिल के तुम ही सहारे हो। मिला सारे रिश्तों का प्यार तुमसे ओ बाबा, जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। दुनिया से दूर तारों के गांव तुम मुझे ले आए हो, कांटों से दूर फूलों की छाँव में मुझे बिठाए हो। किरणों की बाहों का तुमसे ओ बाबा, जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। भाग्य के द्वारे खुले हमको हमारे मिले, आए जीवन में बहार तुमसे ओ बाबा, जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे, शक्तियाँ मिल रही अपार तुमसे। जुड़ गई है मन की तार तुमसे।
Om Shanti, good morning. Just checking what sound, is that okay?
Om Shanti Ben, yes, the sound is very clear. Thank you.
Thank you. So good morning to everyone on this special day. And today in the world, it's actually been celebrated as Raksha Bandhan. And the song that was played was very beautiful. It says that the line or the wire of our mind has already been connected to Baba. And so there's a free flow of beautiful energy that comes from Baba to us. And that's really what Baba is reminding us and what the festival of Raksha Bandhan is a reminder of. But for anything to be connected, there needs to be a few things. And so that's why this festival is connected to purity, because the cleaner the connection or the cleaner each side is, then when they connect, there's nothing in the way. And so it's very powerful in different ways. Baba every day is reminding us of how we cleanse ourselves. And so with that cleansing comes that clear connection. And I think for each one of us, we know that as we listen to Baba, something becomes more and more refined in the way in which we can make that connection clearer. So today, Baba's Murli is very beautiful. He's actually reminding us, firstly, how he is. And I think this thing about Baba's relationship with us, that he always uses himself also as an example. And because our love is so, there's a natural tendency that we feel like the one that we love. It's in a very nice way, instead of enforcing anything, Baba pulls our attention to how we can be, what's the possible options to be. So I think that's a nice way in which we can see how Baba teaches us in a very loving way. Something that I thought also that was very beautiful from today's Murli, when Baba said he doesn't make any excuses and there's nothing that comes between.
Usha, sorry, okay?
Yes, sorry, little disconnection with the internet. You see what happens when something's not plugged in properly, then obviously the energy is not flowing. And so Baba is really reminding us today that he never makes any excuses. Baba never has an off day, an on day. Baba is very constant in his whole approach to us. And so Baba is also reminding us that we shouldn't make any excuses. And you know, the one thing in the whole, there's a thing called the Mayan calendar. And the Mayan calendar is something that we all thought that it tells us the time for destruction. And so in 2020, that's something we all focus our energy. But when I went to Cancun, we went to go and see this Mayan calendar. And basically, the whole Mayan thing is that there's a pyramid which has 7 steps and it comes to the pinnacle. And the whole idea for us is to reach to that top point. And when we reach that top point, we'll be totally evolved. And at that point of evolution, the soul reaches to its original state of sovereignty. But the first step that we have to conquer, because each step is actually one or the other vice. And the first step that we need to step on to get to that stage, and they use the word, I don't like too much, sloth, but it actually means laziness. And so if you think about our spiritual journey, if we want to achieve anything, we need to always take that first step. It means sometimes we have to conquer a little habit or an old pattern or something like that. And it takes a little bit of effort and determination. And so it's really something for all of us to check and see that we all have the big picture, that we want to become those pure, perfect souls that Baba constantly gives us a vision of. But there's something between getting to that stage and starting the journey. And sometimes we procrastinate, sometimes we make excuses. We'll say, oh, there's a lot of time still left. And so Baba is telling us that actually what's happening in the world, if we look at other people, we'll sort of like lose track, because in the world today, still people don't have disinterest. And so what will happen is that when the extremes come, that's when they'll actually have the disinterest, but it will be a limited disinterest. Whereas for us, we actually will have the unlimited disinterest. But that unlimited disinterest will only come if we already start taking the little steps that Baba is showing us. So I felt like something for myself is that just see where I procrastinate, where I'm actually holding back. I'm waiting to fully give myself, but then I'm thinking, let's do this, let's do that. And one example I can really clearly say, which is practical, sometimes in the morning you get woken up very early, but that's also the day you might have many things to do. So you say to yourself, and this is me saying, maybe let me just rest a little bit because the day ahead is quite long. So I'm not going to get to rest. So let me just rest a little bit extra. And so at that point, there was Baba giving me some inspiration, giving me an opportunity to have extra yoga. And I'm bringing in my own physical need of physical rest, and then saying, well, this is my capacity, so this is only what I can manage. So Baba, let me sleep a little bit more, and then I will definitely do everything that's needed. And yet what Baba was doing is saying, child, I know you got a heavy day, so I want you to sit with me and I'll fill you with all the energy so that your day will be done with my energy. And so we can even have a little bit of procrastination in things like that. We don't heed certain things because we're looking at physical conditions and saying, but and so I'm not going to quite make it. And yet if we surrender to Baba's way, we'll be amazed at the energy with which we can actually do Baba's work. So let's listen to Baba. Today the Murli is originally spoken by Baba on the 7th of March in 1988. The title is The List of Elevated Fortune of Elevated Children. Today, Bab Dada, the bestower of fortune, is seeing his fortunate children. The fortune of each Brahmin child is extremely elevated compared to the fortune of ordinary souls of the world, because each Brahmin soul is among a few out of multi-millions and one amongst that few. On the one hand, there are 5.5 billion souls, and on the other hand, there is the small world of you Brahmins. You souls are so few compared to the rest of them. This is why, in comparison with those souls without knowledge, all of you Brahmins are extremely fortunate. Bab Dada is seeing that the line of fortune is sparkling very clearly like a tilak on the forehead of each Brahmin. Worldly fortune tellers see the fortune on the hands, whereas the line of divine, godly fortune is visible on each child's forehead. The forehead and the fortunate children, the forehead of the fortunate children are constantly sparkling with spiritual light to the extent that their fortune is elevated. What other signs of fortunate children are visible? There will be the experience of constantly having a divine smile, a spiritual smile on the face. The eyes of fortunate children will constantly be instrumental in creating waves of happiness within whoever he meets. Whoever receives his glance will experience spirituality, godly remembrance, and the spiritual Father. Whoever receives his glance will experience spirituality, godly remembrance, and the spiritual Father. Each soul who comes in contact with a fortunate soul will have the experience of lightness, that is, of light. Brahman souls will remain number-wise till the end, but these are the number-wise signs of all the fortunate children, and they will continue to be revealed even more in the future. Let the time carry on for a bit longer. Within a short time, when you have the experience of both extremes and the end, those souls everywhere in the world who have no knowledge will have an attitude of limited disinterest, whereas you fortunate souls will be experiencing an attitude of unlimited disinterest. As yet, those worldly people do not have that disinterest. Now, after a little rehearsal takes place, they fall asleep again in the sleep of carelessness, thinking that they will keep happening. However, when the scenes of the extreme and the end appear, the attitude of limited disinterest will be created automatically. And due to they having extreme tension, everyone's attention will be drawn to the one Father. At that time, the sound that will emerge from the heart of each soul will be that the Creator of all, the Father of all, is the one, and their intellects will automatically move away from all other directions and go to the one direction. At that time, the stage of you fortunate children who have an attitude of unlimited disinterest will become natural and constant. And the line of fortune on each one's forehead will be clearly visible. Even now, what is it that always remains in the intellect of you elevated children? God, and the Hindi word is Bhagavan, and the fortune, Bhagya. Check from Amrit Vela and make a list of your fortune. At Amrit Vela, the Father himself wakes up the fortunate children. So when that bed shakes in the morning, it's Baba that's waking us up, and also invokes them. Those who are extremely loving children also experience that someone is not letting them sleep, even though they want to sleep. Someone is waking them. someone is calling them. This is the experience you have, is it not? Just look at your fortune from Amrit Vela. In devotion, the devotees consider deities to be God and ring bells to wake them. Whereas here, God himself wakes who? Whereas here, it is God himself who wakes you. It is such great fortune. From Amrit Vela, Baba becomes the server and serves you. He also invokes you. Come, experience the stage of being equal to the Father. Sit with me. Therefore, where is the Father sitting? In a high place and in a high stage. So, normally when we think about in the Lokik world, when people pull our attention to remember them, we get remembering a body and a physical place. Whereas when we remember Baba, it takes us away from our body and it takes us to Paramdam. So it actually brings us into an elevated stage. It frees us. So if you are sitting with the Father, what would your stage be? Why are you laboring? Just come and sit with me and you will automatically be colored by the company. Your stage automatically becomes according to the place. Just as when you come to Madhuban, what does your stage become? Do you have to have yoga, or is there yoga anyway? This is why you want to stay here a little longer. If all of you receive an order to stay for another 15 days, you would dance in happiness. So just as the place has an influence over the stage, in the same way, at Amrit Vela, either go to the supreme abode or to the subtle region and sit with the Father. If Amrit Vela is powerful, help will automatically be received throughout the day. And I think this is absolutely the main thing. You be present for Amrit Vela and Baba will sort your day out for you. So if Amrit Vela is powerful, help will automatically be received throughout the day. Therefore, keep your fortune in your consciousness. Vah, my fortune, that my day begins with God. Then look at your fortune further. The Father himself becomes the teacher, and comes from the faraway land to teach you. People try to go to God, whereas God himself, in the form of the teacher, comes to teach you. It is such great fortune, and he has been carrying out this duty of service for so long. Does he ever become lazy? Does he ever make excuses? Today I have a headache, or I wasn't able to sleep last night. So just as the Father becomes the tireless server and does service in the same way, you children should also be tireless servers like the Father. I remember meeting Brother BJ's father at the age of 99. He was really nearly on his way. And he said to us, he said, Hard work has never killed anybody. He has yet to find somebody who died because of hard work. And at that age, he got a little bit unwell, but he used to still go into his garden and do things. So really, it's one thing that when we think about physical work as well, it's really something in us when we don't have enthusiasm, that we just want to be sitting down. But if you think about it, the more energy you allow this body to utilize, the more healthy it actually becomes. So Baba doesn't actually have any excuses for us, but he is happy to serve us at every go. However, just look at your daily timetable to see how great your fortune is. Baba says to you, constantly loving, long lost, and now found children, whatever service you do, whether it's lokik or alokik, service of the family or service at the center, whatever actions you perform, whatever duties you fulfill, always have the experience that Karavanhar, the one who makes you do it, is enabling you to do it. I have been made an instrument, Karanhar, the one who does it, for the sake of service, and Karavanhar is making you do it. So Karavanhar means the one who's inspiring the action. Here also, you are not alone. Baba, in the form of Karavanhar, is the one is with you at the time of performing actions. You are just an instrument. God is Karavanhar, especially for me. Why do you do anything by yourself when there is the consciousness, I alone am doing something? This consciousness of I is a door for Maya to enter. Then you say that Maya has come. You have just opened the door for which Maya has been waiting in anticipation, and since you have provided all the arrangements, why wouldn't she enter? Also keep the fortune of yours in your consciousness that the Father is Karavanhar, the one who is inspiring actions, is making you perform each action, and there won't be a burden. The burden is always on the master. There is never a burden on the companions. When you become the master, there is a burden. I am a child and the Father is the master, and so the master is making me, the child, do it. When you become big, there is great sorrow. Become a child and do it according to the master's directions. Therefore, this great fortune in which Baba becomes responsible for each action is such that it makes you light and it makes you fly. However, what happens instead? When a problem comes, you say, Baba, you know what should be done now. Then when the problem is removed, you become intoxicated. However, why should you do anything for such a problem to come? Simply continue to perform every action according to the directions of the Father, Karavanhar. The action will then be elevated, and the fruit of elevated action is constant happiness and constant lightness. and you will continue to experience an angelic life. Angels enter a relationship with karma, but do not become bound by any bondage of karma. And since there is a relationship with the Father, Karavanhar, there can never be any arrogance of I in the consciousness of your being an instrument. You will become constantly humble in carrying out the task of renewal. So, how great your fortune is. Alexis de Mohini's mantra is that she tells Baba, your work, guess what? I'm a helper. So I just do what I can do, and the main task is yours. So it's really nice feeling that we can do a lot without holding that burden. Sometimes the work doesn't get done because we think too much how much work has to be done. But as soon as you start doing it, it just happens automatically. Now Baba is asking something very close to all of our hearts. Who is feeding you Brahma Bhojan? The very name is Brahma Bhojan. It is not Brahm Bhojan. It is Brahma Bhojan. Brahma is constantly the protector of the yagya. Each child of the yagya, that is, each Brahman child, has to receive Brahma Bhojan through Brahma, the Father. People just say casually that God is feeding them. They don't know who God is, yet God is feeding them. However, for you, Brahman children, it is the Father who feeds you. Even if you are earning and accumulating in Lokik life, and you buy your food from that, you first put your earnings in the Father's Bandara. The Father's Bandara then becomes the Mandara of Bholanath, the innocent Lord. Never forget this method. Otherwise, you will think that you yourself are earning and that you yourself are eating from that. You are a trustee. A trustee does not own anything. I am eating from my earnings. These thoughts would never arise. Since you are a trustee, you have given everything to Baba. It now belongs to you. It doesn't belong to me. A trustee means to have the consciousness of yours, whereas a householder means to have the consciousness of mine. And so, who are you? Any idea who you are? Baba says, you are not householders, are you? God is feeding you. You are receiving Brahma Bhojan. Those who are Brahman souls automatically have this intoxication, and the Father guarantees that Brahman souls will not be hungry for 21 births. You will be fed dal, roti, and sabji, vegetables, with a lot of love. In this birth too, you will eat the dal and roti of love, not of effort. And most of the time, dal and roti or dal and rice is our favorite, isn't it? Therefore, from Amrit Vela, keep your consciousness all the fortune that you have received. Think about your whole timetable in this way. And you know, this is something very powerful. Really, my experience when I was in Guyana, and even when the center was like burnt and I had to move to stay somewhere else. And it was obviously my first experience living in a foreign country in somebody else's home. But you know, the little things that used to happen really gave me the experience that God has got my back 100% covered. I never needed to worry about anything in that, even physical sense, the things that were provided, because you don't want to ask anyone anything. And how it used to happen was like really amazing. And it's almost like we think we know how to provide out for ourselves. So we would go according to our likes or whatever. But actually, Baba knows better what is good for us. And so I just really, for me, I think that one experience of feeling constantly how Baba really is 100% checking out for us and looking after us, it's quite incredible. So Baba says, it is also the Father who puts you to sleep, singing you a lullaby. Go to sleep in the Father's lap, and all tiredness and illness will be forgotten, and you will rest in comfort. Simply say, come, Ram. And so in Hindi, the word is Ram, come Ram. And Aram also means to rest. So simply say, come Ram, Aram, and you will be comforted, Aram. When you sleep alone, thoughts continue to come one after another. Go to sleep with the Father. Go to sleep in the lap of remembrance. Go to sleep listening to the lullaby of sweet child, lovely child, and see what a unique experience you will have. So nice we can go to sleep like that, no? So I look forward to go to sleep actually. So from Amrit Vela until nighttime, God makes you do everything. The one who makes everyone move is making you move. The one who makes everyone move is making you move. The one who makes everyone do something. All of us. I think I brought the wrong page. Upstairs. Okay, otherwise, bring it from here. Apologies, I kind of made a don't have the last page, I kind of missed it. So in any case, I think what is so beautiful is that Baba is reminding us that at this time, every action that we're performing at the confluence age, Baba is with us. And so to really take that full experience of Baba being with us and giving us such a total experience, and that nothing will be lacking for us throughout the cycle just by being connected to that one source. Something else which I thought was also beautiful, there's a lovely Murli in 71 or so, where Baba speaks of the whole contrast of all the things that happens in the confluence age opposed to what's happening now. Actually, Kirti, can I read from your phone? Yeah. Okay, thanks. Okay, thank you. So Baba continues by saying, the one who makes everyone move is making you move. The one who makes everyone do something is making you do it. Therefore, constantly keep this fortune in your consciousness. Let this emerge. Unless you drink a drink of limited intoxication, your intoxication will not rise. If it is just kept in the bottle, would you become intoxicated? Now, don't take this out of context and thinking Baba is saying we need to drink that, right? Baba is just telling us if you leave that intoxication in the bottle, you won't get intoxicated. Similarly, your intellects have been filled with it. So now use it. To bring it into your consciousness means to drink it, to let it emerge. This is known as becoming an embodiment of remembrance. You have not been told to keep it merged in your intellect. Become the embodiments of remembrance. You are so fortunate. Therefore, keep your fortune in your consciousness every day. Become powerful and continue to fly. Do you understand what you have to do? Double foreigners have the experience of limited intoxication. So now keep this unlimited intoxication in your consciousness, and the elevated line of fortune will remain constantly sparkling on your foreheads. It will be clearly visible. At the moment, the line of some is merged, and for others, it is clearly visible. However, if you constantly keep it in your consciousness, it will remain sparkling on your foreheads, and it will continue to give this experience to others. Acha. To the elevated, powerful souls who are constantly embodiments of remembrance of God and their fortune, to the elevated souls who constantly have the consciousness of being Karan Har whilst performing actions, to the fortunate children who stay in the high place, in a high stage with the Father at Amrit Vela, to the special Brahmins who give others the experience of the line of elevated fortune on their foreheads. To such souls, Bab Dada's love, remembrances, and namaste. Namaste to our sweet Baba. At the time of Bab Dada taking leave, Dada Janki takes leave to go on service to Bombay and Kurukshetra. The Maharatis have on their feet the wheels of service. You can just imagine those little feet with little wheels, eh? Dada Janki. So wherever you go, nothing happens except service. No matter what your reason for going is, service is merged in it. At every step, there is nothing but service. Even when walking, there is service done while you walk. Even when eating food, you call someone to eat with you. You eat with love, and that is also service. Whilst walking, sitting, and whilst walking, there is service and only service. I'll read it again. You eat with love, and that is also service. And whilst walking, sitting, and walking, there is service. and only service. You are such service. To have a chance to do service is also a sign of fortune. You have to become the great rulers of the globe, and so the wheels of service are also great. Acha. Just was remembering this one thing, sometimes Brahmins feel that it's fortune that because you say to somebody, it's your fortune to do service, meaning we're encouraging souls to do service. But actually, if you don't do it, and that needs to be done, somebody will come. But if I got the opportunity to do it, then while I did that action, I will get the experience of Baba giving me his energy, and that actually is the fortune. It's not the fact that you did the work, it's the fact that whilst doing it, what you experience, and that is the gift. And so this is actually the beauty of the Confluence Age. And now, Baba's blessing for us today. Thank you. Blessing, may you keep your stage constant, unshakable, and immovable. May you keep your stage constant, unshakable, and immovable, even in a Tamoguni atmosphere, as a Master Almighty authority. Day by day, the situations are going to become more and more Tamo Pradhan, and the atmosphere will get worse. In order to remain detached like a lotus flower and make your stage Sato Pradhan, you need to have that much courage and power. When you keep this blessing in your awareness, I am a Master Almighty authority, then no matter what test comes in front of you through matter, Lokic relations, or the divine family, you will always be constant, unshakable, and immovable. And then the slogan, make the Father, the bestower of blessings, your true companion, and your apron will remain filled with blessings. Om Shanti. So definitely a very rich Murli, and Baba has definitely given us a lots of things to digest. So let's just take a few moments and let all Baba's words rest on the intellect, and then let's see how it begins to filter so that we can then take it as an action. So a few moments of silence with Baba. So it was definitely a powerful message, especially for, I would say, for Raki as well. Baba is just giving us some beautiful reminders of how to remain connected. And the one thing that I specifically felt that was very moving in a sense is when Baba said that Baba is with us. He's the one that's feeding us. He's the one that's waking us up. He's the one that's making us do. And the line that stays with me, that I am with you. So you come and sit with me. And so the idea of sitting with Baba, just I feel that today I want to hold that feeling that when you sit next to somebody, you're on the same platform, the same stage with them. And where's Baba's space, Paramdam? To be close to him, I have to be in the form of a soul. And then the rest is quite straightforward. And so just be with Baba, for me, that would be the main takeaway. So I'm also inviting anyone who would like to unmute and share. And there's Baba's children here also today at Global Peace House. If anybody wants to share, please. So who's going to share? Anyone here? Anyone out there in the Zoom world?
Om Shanti, good morning.
I'm so happy, Indraniben, you broke the silence.
Oh, man, I don't want to. But, when you bubble inside, you have to bring it outside. So anyway, Baba's Murli today is so intoxicating, full of blessings, and reminding me of my fortune. Sometimes we go into a state of deep sleep and say, why me, it's so cold, we make all the excuses. But God himself comes in the morning and awakens us, gives us his great company when we wake up in the morning. From the time we go to bed, Baba's company is there. So am I making myself available to Baba and also awakening my fortune? And so Baba says, I must keep my fortune in my awareness, in my consciousness every day. And I must become powerful and I must continue to fly. Daddy says, stop crying and start flying. Our crying is our complaints, our excuses. So I must check myself whether I'm in that mode of complaining and making excuses. And Baba says, all of this fortune is in our consciousness, and we must allow for it to emerge. Sometimes on an intellectual level, we know so much, but on a practical level, am I allowing for this fortune to emerge on my face? That subtle smile, the eyes sparkling, full of energy and life. So when someone sees me, they probably think I won the lottery. So to allow for this fortune to actually emerge on the face and not to allow for souls to feel when they look at you, oh, what's wrong with this person? Is this person depressed? We are God's children. So we have to really give this energy to the world right now, because the world is undergoing so much of sorrow at this time. And just that smile and that power that comes out from our face can give other souls hope. I don't want to say too much now, otherwise I'll be buying all the airtime.
Share it. Thank you. Anyone else? What moved you today?
Om Shanti, good morning.
Good morning, Brother Michael.
Yeah, thank you so much. Today is a very special day for me, and because this is my 5th anniversary. I first came to the Brahma Kumaris on Raksha Bandhan in 2016, and I'm so absolutely grateful today that everybody here has played a wonderful role in helping me to grow. But there's 2 instruments that Baba has used effectively, especially Sister Samantha and Sister Indrani, who've been in my life for a very long time. So all today I can say is thank you, Baba, for this wonderful, great fortune, and that wherever I walk, I may be of service. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
So on behalf of all of us, Indraniben, I'm taking the liberty to give Baba's child arose from all of this was offered to Baba. So there we go. A happy birthday to you, Brother Michael. Please accept it from all of us.
He very much deserves it because he's a most regular student. Very, very, very dedicated.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Om Shanti.
See, at least you got your certificate from your teacher, Brother Michael. That's a good one to start off with, eh? You know, yesterday,
Thank you.
Baba was talking about the 3 certificates. So
Yes.
somebody on the chat says, keep your stage elevated. I am a master almighty authority in time of situations to be detached like a lotus flower. Make the Father your true companion, and your apron will remain filled with blessings. Have a fulfilling, happy, beautiful, blessed day, Sister Audrey. Om Shanti. Thank you, Sister Audrey. It'll be nice to get your voice into the room. Come, everyone.
Om Shanti, everyone. Happy Raksha Bandhan on this auspicious day of tying the Rakhi and rekindling the promise that we keep with Baba. And today the point that stays with me is, wow, my great fortune, wow, that my day begins with God. Now, yesterday in the class, Raksha Bandhan is not a time for making a new promise. We renew a promise, but we have taken so many little steps over time to solidify that promise, because we still have so many lingering sanskaras, little crumbs that are left in our linings, in our pockets. So every year, what is it that we go forward with at this auspicious time of Raksha Bandhan? So for me, there's a checking point each time to accomplish something that will be there as a eternal sanskara. So we just reawaken something that has become dormant, especially now at Raksha Bandhan. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Anybody else? Okay, so we can read, especially we're now coming closer to Daddy's Day. And so also remind ourselves of Daddy's specialities. You know, when we think of Daddy Prakashmani as well, I think Raksha Bandhan is a beautiful example of Daddy's relationship with Baba and how she kept herself so committed. So we can also just see that when we commit to Baba, Baba's commitment to us is there as well, which is the beauty of Rakhi. And now, sorry, I'm not so organized this morning. Where's the points? Shelbin, do you have the points handy?
Yes, today is number 22.
Okay, I can read the speciality, and if you can read the effort, please, Shelbin.
Okay.
So today's speciality of Daddy Prakashmani, the 22nd, is she was always a jewel of contentment and had the bhavana to make everyone content. Daddyji was always a jewel of contentment. In her intellect, she always had the feeling, let everyone be content with me. Contentment is everyone's blessing for me. Daddyji used to say, I am only aware in my intellect that I have to make everyone content. I have to claim good wishes of contentment from everyone. With this dharana, her intellect always stays carefree. Contentment is generosity. To the extent that you are generous, accordingly, you will be able to make everyone content. We mustn't be selfish in any way. So powerful. And I think we felt that vibration from Daddy G being constantly content. Shobin, please, if you can do the effort for us today.
Okay. Thank you, Usha. Today, Tapasya point, being double light, experience the double light angelic form. Number 22. Huge machines operate with the light, electricity connection. All of you also, while performing actions on the basis of your connections, become double light and continue to move one and continue to move on. When you have a double light stage, the words hard work and difficult finish the consciousness of the self, and let there be a feeling of being a trustee and the feeling to do godly service. And you will be able to become double light. So powerful, powerful, Murli. It was so powerful. I mean, within Baba's lightness and entertainment, you know, he doesn't get a headache, or he doesn't make excuse, I didn't sleep last night. And so like children, he teaches us. So I also would like to take this opportunity whilst here to really thank the team for a great Raksha Bandhan program that was put together. It was so powerful. It was very special. So thank you, team. The BK Sustenance team, thank you. Many blessings, and everyone, Om Shanti.
Thank you, Shobin. Yes, it was definitely, I think many souls have been reiterating that it was a very lovely experience. And I think even from Didi, Asha Didi, you know, her feeling that we were all trying to get together and do it, she felt that that was also a very powerful effort. So I think that's a very lovely effort, and also that unifying energy that will really take us forward. So thank you. And let's take up Baba's invitation and sit with him and take ourselves to Param Dham in the form of a point.
I will take a chance to be who I'm meant to be. I won't let fear keep me from trying. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I won't live the life others expect of me. I want to be proud of who I'm becoming. It's time for me to make a change, to start living the life I want. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. I'm never giving up. Step by step, I will make my own way. Even when others don't believe me, brick by brick, I will build my destiny. I can't wait to see who I've become. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm gonna reach for the sky, way up high. I'm never giving up. It's up to me to see who I can be, make dreams reality. I'm never giving up. 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 I'm never giving up.
Thank you. Also, thanks to the host and co-host for yesterday, Brother Avinal, Sister Danielle. Great job. Thank you.
Om Shanti.
Happy
Om
birthday, Brother
Shanti.
Mike.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Om
Thank
Shanti. Thank you, Usha Ben. Thank you, Sister Shirley.
Thank you.
Have a pure intoxicated day.
Om
Not the
Shanti.
bottom.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Jay Bye.
Thank you all. Thank you, Shabin. Thank you,
And happy
Shabin.
Raksha Bandhan to all the brothers and sisters today.
Thank you. Happy Raksha Bandhan to everyone.
Om
Thank
Shanti.
you,
Thank you,
bye.
Usha.
Om Shanti, Sister Sylvia.
Om
Om
Shanti.
Shanti. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Om
Shanti,
Shanti.
thank you so much.
Enjoy your birthday and Raksha Bandhan, Brother Michael.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you,
Well,
Baba.
Michael,
Thank you,
you
Baba.
got the passport now. You need to just do the service of making others happy like you, right?
Yes, that is exactly what I do now. Thank you so much. Om Shanti.
All right, take on.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, Sister
Goodbye,
Indrani.
Didi. How many gulab jamuns you
Sister
ate?
Indrani, you need to make gulab jamuns for the whole